Lily Harrison sat in the back corner of her fifth-grade classroom, shoulders hunched, eyes fixed on her desk. As the daughter of tech mogul Jonathan Harrison, she had everything money could buy, except the one thing she needed most: the confidence to speak. Her selective mutism had begun 3 years earlier, after her parents' difficult divorce became front-page news. Since then, Lily communicated only in whispers to her nanny Margaret, and through careful nods or shakes of her head at school. Mrs. Patricia Williams noticed Lily on her very first day at Lincoln Elementary. Patricia was new to the school, having taken the position despite the pay cut because her previous school had closed due to budget cuts. At 52, she understood that some battles were worth fighting, even when the odds seemed impossible. The other teachers warned Patricia about Lily. "Don't take it personally," they said. "She hasn't spoken in class for 2 years. Her father sends tutors and specialists, but nothing works." Patricia watched Lily carefully during those first weeks. She saw how the girl's eyes would light up when they read stories about brave characters, how her hand would start to rise during discussions, before quickly dropping back down. There was a voice waiting to be heard. It just needed the right invitation. Patricia began small. She would place art supplies near Lily's desk, never demanding participation but always leaving room for possibility. She started a classroom journal where students could write instead of speak, sharing thoughts and feelings without pressure. Lily's first entry was just 2 words: "I listen." Patricia wrote back, "Listening is a gift. What do you hear that others miss?" Slowly, carefully, their written conversations grew. Lily shared her love of astronomy, her worry about the homeless man she saw on her way to school, her dreams of having a normal friendship. Patricia responded with patience and understanding, never pushing but always encouraging. The breakthrough came during a unit on community helpers. Patricia had invited guests to speak about their jobs, and Lily had written extensively in her journal about wanting to help people, but feeling too scared to matter. "You know," Patricia said quietly one afternoon as the classroom emptied, "sometimes the quietest voices carry the most important messages. Would you like to share something special with the class tomorrow? Not speaking, just showing?" The next day, Lily arrived with a carefully prepared poster about animal shelters, something she had been researching with Margaret's help. As her classmates gathered around, she began pointing to pictures and statistics, her passion overcoming her fear. "The dogs need volunteers," she whispered, so softly that everyone had to lean in to hear. It wasn't much, but it was everything. Patricia's eyes filled with tears as she watched Lily's classmates respond with genuine interest and kindness. Word of the moment reached Jonathan Harrison through the school's weekly newsletter. He had been traveling constantly, building his empire while Margaret provided the stability Lily needed. Reading about his daughter's small victory made him realize how many moments he had missed. That weekend, Jonathan visited Patricia at school, finding her grading papers in her modest classroom, decorated with student artwork and motivational quotes she had paid for herself. "I want to thank you," Jonathan said simply. "You've done something for Lily that all my resources couldn't accomplish." Patricia smiled gently. "Your daughter has everything she needs inside her already. She just needed someone to listen without expecting anything in return." Jonathan looked around the classroom, noting the outdated textbooks, the supplies that had clearly been purchased with Patricia's own money. "What can I do? How can I help support what you're doing here?" "Don't help because of Lily," Patricia said thoughtfully. "Help because every child in this school deserves a teacher who can focus on teaching, instead of worrying about supplies and resources." 6 months later, Patricia stood before a classroom transformed. New books filled the shelves, art supplies overflowed from cabinets, and technology hummed quietly in corners. But the most beautiful change was Lily, now raising her hand regularly and speaking in a clear, confident voice about the school's new volunteer program at the animal shelter. The Harrison Education Foundation had grown beyond anyone's expectations, funding not just Lincoln Elementary but struggling schools across the district. Jonathan had discovered that investing in education brought returns that couldn't be measured in dollars. During the school's end-of-year celebration, Lily stood before the entire assembly and spoke about the power of patient teachers and second chances. Her voice carried clearly through the auditorium, and in the front row, Patricia wiped away tears of pride. Later, as the celebration wound down, Lily approached Patricia with a carefully wrapped gift, a book she had written herself called The Teacher Who Listened. "You taught me that having a voice isn't about being loud," Lily said. "It's about having something worth saying and someone who cares enough to hear it." Patricia hugged her former student, knowing that the greatest reward of teaching wasn't the supplies or technology that now filled her classroom. It was moments like this, when a child discovered their own strength and chose to use it for good. Jonathan watched from across the room, finally understanding that the most valuable things in life couldn't be bought or sold. They could only be nurtured with patience, love, and the unwavering belief that every person has something important to offer the world.